Happy morning, children. I'm happy to meet you again for the continuation of the first lesson on categories of languages. As usual, our class will start with a couple of activities. Today, let's do stretching exercise. Stretching is a physical exercise which specifically stretches a muscle or a muscle group in order to improve elasticity. See the pictures and do the exercise, and you can ease yourself to see our video. Our next slide does stretching exercise in the sitting posture. I know you are all sitting in chairs to view the videos. Kindly do this exercise in the order numbered from 1 to 6. Repeat them whenever you sit for more than half an hour and ease yourself. Our next slide displays images on languages. What is a language? It is a system of communication in speech that is used by people of a particular country. Communication is a way when two people or a group or more exchange information or messages. We can simply say language is a tool and communication is a process of using the tool. Why should we talk on language today, children? Yes, our next topic in lesson 1 is categories of computer languages. Children, computers do have different kinds of languages. Let us discuss one by one in this video. Before we move on to types of languages, we will learn a few terminologies like program, programming language, and programmer. Program. Program is a set of instructions that can be executed by a computer to perform a specific task. A set of instructions that can be executed by a computer to perform a specific task is called as program. The image which is placed in the slide tells us how a mobile is programmed to pay bills for utility services like telephone bill, water tax, gas, cable recharge, electricity bill, etc. The one who writes the program or write the instructions for execution is called as programmer. The programmer can also be synonymous as computer specialist, techie, or an engineer. The language which he uses for writing is called as programming language. Examples of programming language are C, C++, Java, Python, etc. When we come to school, don't we follow a few rules, children? Like you come to school on time, you come in a uniform. When you enter into the class, you see to it that you keep your lunch bags in a cubicle. You try to follow class rules like you listen to others while they speak. You don't fight with others. You're being friendly. You play in a safe manner. Same way, each and every programming language has a set of rules which they should follow, and these rules are called as syntax. We now move on to types of computer languages. The types of computer languages are broadly classified into two types, low level language and high level language. The low level language are classified into machine language and assembly language, and the high level language are classified into three categories, namely third generation language, fourth generation language, and fifth generation language. Machine language or first generation language. This is the language which our computer can understand. It is in the form of 0 and 1. They are called as binary. The word by stands for 2 and they are 0 and 1. 0 is called the off state. 1 is called the on state. Machine language generally has low memory utilization and high speed. But there are a few disadvantages of machine language. The first disadvantage is machine dependent. What do you mean by the word machine dependent? It means that the program cannot work on any other operating system. The word operating system has been studied by you in the lower classes. What do you mean by an operating system? An operating system is one which acts as an interface between the user and the hardware. Windows is the best example of an operating system. Can we now write a program on machine language and can it be run on a Windows platform? No, it cannot be done. So hence the machine language is machine dependent. The example given in the slide You are supposed to add 2 plus 2 equal to 4 and you should write it in a machine language. See the lines of code which consumes in the form of zeros and ones. And when you write the code in the form of zeros and ones, it is a time consuming process and it is difficult for us to rectify the errors if there is any, and it is difficult to understand. Hence, this machine language is called as low level language. Now, let's move on to our assembly language. Assembly language is otherwise called a second generation language. This language uses mnemonic codes instead of 0 and 1. See the picture. You can see words like add, move, pop, ret, shr. These words are called as symbolic codes. Each and every word has got a meaning. When you say ADD, it allows you to add two numbers. When you say MOV, it allows you to move. When you say POP, it allows you to delete. In the example, it says MOV AL 54H. Do you find 54H in the second column, children? No. So when you convert this machine code into 0 and 1, you will see a question mark on the picture because there is no sequence like 54H in the second column. The disadvantage of assembly language is again machine dependent. It takes a lot of time for writing and debugging the code. What do you mean by debugging? Debugging is a process where you try to check and correct the error. Hence, this assembly language is again called as low level language. Next, we move on to high level language. The high level language is otherwise called as third generation language. They are very simple. They are written in simple English. It is user friendly and they use human words, symbols, and these high level languages are machine independent. What do you mean by the word machine independent? They can work on any other platform. Say for example, you write a program in Java, you can work on Windows operating system as well as Linux operating system. These high level languages are all procedural languages. The fourth generation language are very close to human language. They are non-procedural language. They are user friendly. They are machine independent. It means they can work on any platform. Their execution speed is very high. It requires minimum effort to get better results. Examples of the fourth generation language are Oracle, PLSQL, and SQL. Fifth generation language. They are designed to solve the problem for us. It is used in artificial intelligence research. It functions on natural language and it can recognize the voice. They are capable of parallel processing. Prolog, OPS5 and Mercury are best examples for fifth generation language. In the real-time application, we find the fifth generation language used by robots. Robots generally help in surgery, bank and hotels. And in the COVID-19 situation, in states like Kerala and Bengaluru, we find that these robots help in answering queries and assisting the patients. Language translator. Since computers can understand only machine language, we have to convert them from high level language or fourth generation language or fifth generation language into machine language. To do this conversion, we have to use language translators or language processors. Language processor are broadly classified into three categories. They are assembler, compiler, and interpreter. Assembler. It allows us to convert assembly level program to machine level program. The assembly level program is called as source code and the machine level program is called as object code. Assembler. It allows us to convert assembly level program to machine level program. The assembly level program is called as source code and the machine level program is called as object code. The next topic is interpreter. What do you mean by an interpreter? The interpreter interprets each and every line in the program. It works like your mother preparing dosa at home. Have you ever seen how she is preparing dosa? She takes the dosa batter, pours them in the tawa, checks if the dosa is cooked properly, and then serves it in your plate. Right, children? Similarly, the interpreter will prompt the user if there is any error in the program and allows the user to correct the error. The source program will always be given a data and checked, and you get the output finally. We now move on to our last topic, compiler. Compiler, on the other hand, will work like your idli cooker in home. Our mother does not check for each and every idli. She keeps the idli in the idli cooker, allows the idli to be cooked for 7 to 8 minutes, and she serves hot idli. Similarly, the compiler will compile the entire program at a stretch. The high level language is compiled, and if there are any compilation errors, they will be corrected and converted into a lower level language or machine language. Let's have some fun, children. Below are the alphabets given in Japanese language. Kindly spell the following words in Japanese language and enjoy. Thank you.